encouragement.
All right, Michael. God bless you. Good to hear from you. Al from Kansas City. Hi, Al. Welcome.
Yeah, hi. I enjoy your show a lot. I have a question about the Christian faith. I was wondering how a Christian could justify or would it be wrong for a Christian to support and follow a person that was like did adultery and was convicted of civically sexual assault and consistent liar, immoral, scams people out of money, pretty much an evil person, a prideful person,
right,
and a leader of a cult, and pretty much a party he belongs to. The people are pretty much as sinful as he is. Seems like.
So, are you talking about Mormonism?
Oh no! I'm talking about a certain person that who I hope and pray you would not follow or support in the political realm.
Well, no, Christians don't follow political leaders. They follow Jesus.
Okay, but it wouldn't be wrong for a Christian to vote for Trump. That's the bottom line.
Voting for a person has nothing to do with following a person. When you follow somebody, it means you're their disciple. You're learning from them. You're imitating them. You're letting them give instructions to you. That's what being a follower of Jesus means, and that's what a Christian is. A Christian is a follower of Jesus. Now, when you vote for a candidate, none of those things are implied about that. Voting for a candidate means that you have a choice between two people who will be making the policies for your country for the next 4 years, and you prefer the policies that person's going to make over the policies the other one's going to make. So, I mean, that's what voting is. Voting has nothing to do with following a person. So, I don't see why a Christian couldn't vote for a candidate who is maybe a scumbag in real life, but his policies are the ones that you would like to have, be the policies of your country, as opposed to the alternative. For example, I think many people would vote for Trump for no better reason than that the alternative, whoever it is on the other side, we don't know who that's going to be at this point, but we know that the Democratic Party, for example, and I'm not a Republican, by the way, I'm independent, so I'm not a shill for Trump or for the Republican Party at all, but the Democratic Party has stood for the murder of babies. There hasn't been a leading Democratic politician that hasn't favored the murder of babies for many, many elections now. Now, some Christians would say that alone is a good reason to hope that the Democrats don't prevail. And, we might have in a Republican alternative somebody who, is a person we don't care much for, but caring for somebody is not what it's about. A lot of people have said, they wouldn't like to, when DeSantis was an option in the Republican Party, a lot of people said, well, he's not the kind of guy you'd like to sit and have a beer with. Well, I'm not going to vote for somebody, who I can sit down and have a beer with. I'm going to vote for someone who knows how to govern and can get things done and has good ideas that are good for the country. That's who I would vote for. And so I don't care who that is. But to say you would vote for somebody because their policies are going to be better for the country and better for next generation. By the way, Christians should be concerned about the well-being of the next generation. The Bible does say we're supposed to do to others what we would want done to us. If we're glad that some previous generations gave us some freedoms and some values and some, security, and that kind of thing, and we appreciate having those things, then it'd be very sinful for us to not try to pass those things on to the next generations. And so, I mean, if one candidate's going to take those things away and leave the country impoverished and without freedoms and babies without any protection against being murdered by doctors and by their mothers, then I'd say, a Christian would have very good reasons to vote for whoever would keep those people out of office. By the way, a Christian might not be very happy that Mr. Trump would be the candidate on the other side. But again, this is not a personality cult. I think there probably is a Trump personality cult, but I don't think Christians are in it. There are people who are, big time, the fan club of President Trump. But whether you're that way or not, I mean, when you vote, you should be sober, and you should say, okay, if this person comes to office, these are going to be the consequences for the next generation. This is the kind of America that American babies are going to be born into and have to live in. Now, on the other hand, if this other person is voted in, the policies he makes, and by the way, in this case, Trump, we know what kind of policies he makes. We've had 4 years of him, and frankly, it was quite good for the country. We've also had 4 years of the Democrats, and it wasn't very good for the country. So that's why probably many Christians do vote for Trump, not because they're fans, but because they care about their children and grandchildren.
I'm an independent too, but Trump was for abortion until he could see where it would help him to be against it. I don't believe Trump. True.
And no, I didn't say he cares. I said, what policies will he make? I don't care what he cares about. Well, I care about what he's going to do.
Well, many Christians, I don't know if you've ever seen after a rally, they interview people, and they all say they're Christian. They think that Christ has anointed him to be the president. And even Mike Johnson wants to have a test for to be a Christian, to be a Christian nation.
Well, we can't have that. We can't have that. The Constitution does not allow that. The Constitution does not allow us to have a religious test for a candidate. So that simply is out of the question. It might be nice, Christians might think it'd be nice to have in office people who believe in God and believe in Christ and who fear God and want to do what's right in the sight of God. Yeah, I wish everyone in office had at least that going for them. That doesn't make them Christians, but it sure would make a better country than we have now. But more amazing to me is that there are Christians who think that it's okay to vote for, those who want to kill babies. Now, I don't know if Trump wants to kill babies, but I know that, like you said, when he realized that what side of the bread the butter was on, he came out, and put in some Supreme Court justices that were not as likely to kill babies, and that's a good thing. I don't care what he prefers in his private life. You vote for a candidate to do something publicly. What he does privately, you might wish he'd live a good life privately. And as far as I know, Trump may be living a good life. I don't know. I know he's done many things I don't think Christians would ever approve of in his past. I'm not sure what he's doing now, and it's not my first concern. I'd love it if it turned out that he was living like a godly Christian. But if he's not, that's not what you vote. You don't vote for a president to be the elder or pastor of your church. It's a secular position where he's going to be making not laws, but policies and so forth that are going to affect generations to come. So that's why some Christians prefer Trump, and many Christians will vote for him holding their nose because they don't really like him, but they like what he's going to do more than what his adversaries will do. So, I mean, that would be the answer to your question, I think. Hey, we need to take a break. We have another half hour coming up, so don't go away. The Narrow Path is a listener-supported ministry. If you'd like to help us stay on the air, you can write to The Narrow Path, P.O. Box 1730, Temecula, California, 92593. Or go to our website, thenarrowpath.com. I'll be back in 30 seconds.